my first, what would you call it, experience of seeing the enemy, put it that way. Because at the time, when we got to North Africa, the First Army was going along from the Algiers end along towards Tobruk, I suppose, because the war had been in North Africa years before, and they'd been fighting the other way, and that's when they beat the Italians at it. And I think it must have been during that period when they had the Battle of El Alamein, when we took control of the desert. So they were coming this way with the 8th Army, and we were going the other way with the 1st. Well, our first thing was, when we got to Algiers, was to discharge what cargo we had on, load up with tanks and that, and we ran along the coast just round the corner to a place called 𝙋𝘃, and that was our first sign of any enemy thing. And for about while we were travelling along the coast, probably 24 hours of continual bombing and that from, and we thought, good God, what? But we weren't in it for the fun, put it that way. But when we got round to 𝙋𝘃, the same thing happened there. They dive bombed there, and there was one of our big ships got hit there. And so we just had to do our best to discharge what we had. And I think we pulled out of there. But we spent the rest of that session reloading, taking equipment along as they needed it further up the coast, and we would provide it. And it was very interesting, because at the time the army was fighting their way, pushing the Germans back, you see, so. And the Germans were, they had aerodromes on Sicily, so they weren't far from and they kept pounding every day. I don't think there'd be a day gone by you didn't have an air raid. No. But I was a gunner, and we had 6 Harlequins on our boat, and they throw up quite a lot, 6 of them. But they are only anti-aircraft guns, and with having 6, it stopped the planes coming right down on top of you. So they had to let their load go. You know, they had to work it out between themselves. If you go down, they would have got hit, and they brought them down. But no, we got used to that, funny enough, and it became part and parcel of your daily life. Everywhere you went, you know what's going to happen today. And it was pretty near the same for week in, week out, until we conquered North Africa. And when that came to a close, then things had turned nice and quiet for a while. And we started emptying a lot of the army equipment from Tripoli, we were working out of at the time, and taking it to Malta. We're taking aviation fuel and stores, because they had been under siege for a couple of months. And now that North Africa was taken, we were able to give them more attention. Early on, they had special convoys that we would take, not us ourselves, had been going in there, and they'd been under great strain, sinking many ships and that. And so when we landed up in Malta, we still got bombed there, but it wasn't didn't seem as bad. And then suddenly, see, the invasion of Sicily was coming up, and then after we invaded Sicily, we got rid of the airfields, and they had to rely then for the airfields they had in Italy, and there wasn't many of them. So the actual air contact wasn't quite as heavy